Welcome to Nepal. We are in Kathmandu.
We are indeed. We are here for the next 10 days as we explore not just this city but an assortment of other cities and spots around this wonderful country that we're just so excited to be in.
Yeah, just really excited. Just being Kiwis. We've got a famous New Zealander who climbed jointly Mount Everest first, and I feel as though it's almost kind of part of us. So I'm really
definitely some kind of special connection, it feels like. We are here, if you've been following our story, you'll know that we are driving around the world. So I'm Megan and this is Darryl, and we are trying to drive around the world in our campervan. And trying is because the campervan is en route to India, and so we had at one point thought we would drive up here to Nepal, but with just the timings and the delays with the campervan getting to India, we decided instead to opt into a organised tour.
Yeah, so we're going to do that instead. Alright, so we're here for about 10 days, 9 nights. So I think a couple of days here in Kathmandu. Then we're supposed to then go to Pokhara, which I understand is the sightseeing capital of Nepal. And then from there we're to go to Chitwan National Park and hopefully go on a safari of a kind and see some wildlife.
If you want to know more about this trip and the details, Darryl will be posting a video after we've posted this one that goes through what everything cost and how we broke down our expenses and all of that. But if you want to see what we're up to, stick around.
Yeah.
Good morning. It is early. We are about to do something super, super exciting.
Yeah, so I'm actually really kind of like...
There's a whole bunch of airlines going. This cost us about $240 US each to do, and I think it's going to be worth every penny.
Yeah, really looking forward to it.
So after a lot of waiting, we're finally on board. We've been delayed for about an hour and a bit, sitting on the bus, talking to people, and now it's time to get up and see these mountains. They gave us these, what I thought were souvenirs, but actually were guides, so we could make sense of what we were seeing out the windows, and I just love that. I thought it was so organised. So our flight started, and they've let us sit on the same side, so we're going to look out Darryl's window on the way going up and get a view, and then turn around and go out my window on the way back. So we get double whammy, which is exciting. It's Mount Everest with the cloud. Thoughts, Dazzy?
Okay guys, it's huge!
Look, they're turning. You can say you knocked that bugger off. That's her, that's Mount Everest right there. So easy.
She's like really stacked in behind the back, eh?
Yeah, Darryl's just saying she's really stacked in behind the back, but you can spot her because she's covered in cloud.
It's like the cloud coming off with is her way of saying, I'm the only one who can do this.
Yeah. So lucky to be here doing this. This is exactly what our travel and our channel is all about. It's about getting out and doing the things that are bucket list, and I'm never going to climb it, so this is probably as close as I'm ever going to get to these mountains. Our next stop was the Kathmandu Durbar Square, and we went to the Kumari Gar, where the Kumari, who's a living embodiment of Kali, resides. She's a little girl. We got to see her, not allowed to film that, but it was amazing. The whole square is full of temples. This is one where hippies used to apparently come and smoke weed and get stoned. But we happened to be here on an auspicious day for the Newa people, the people of the valley, who have this ritual, this kind of coming of age ritual where young girls, about 8-9 years old, essentially get married. And they get married, they have to hold these little wooden apples. It reminded me of kind of Catholic rituals, First Communion. There was a vibe, it was great. after the busyness of the temples, we went into the palace itself, and the palace is built on multiple levels, built by multiple kings to kind of unify the country and the valley. And Nepal's one of the only countries that was never colonised. Narrow staircase up the stairs. So we've just walked up 9 flights of stairs here at the 9-storey tower, I think it's called, at the palace. This just gives such a vantage point, and you could see how strategically these windows would be very useful for defending or observing. And so while we get views over contemporary Kathmandu, back in the day, 200, 300 years ago, when this was built, it would have been a very strategic stronghold. And I have visions of soldiers running up and down those very, very steep stairs, which, to be fair, we just got signs that said, mind your head, and they're very steep, but it's definitely worth the climb if you come here. Our next stop was Swayambhunath Stupa, sorry, I think that's the pronunciation, affectionately known as Monkey Temple. This was our first go at visiting a Buddhist stupa. We learnt loads. Our last stop of the day was the Buddhanath Stupa. We first off went to a temple for the future Buddha, and then we saw these pilgrims as we're up on the stupa, and they're making their ways around the stupa and as many times as they need to, and it's quite a pilgrimage space. I loved this space. It was probably my favourite place of the whole first day. It was peaceful, it was calm. Darryl and I really enjoyed it, and again, we're soaking up so much knowledge about different religions. It was great. Good morning. Welcome to day 2 of our time here in Nepal.
Yes, and we're on a gondola.
Yeah, we're in the Chandragiri. That's how I'd say it.
Yeah.
We're in the Chandragiri Hills cable car. So it's just us here at the moment. Sorry if it's a bit echoey. And we're making our way up.
Yeah, so we start at 1,500 metres elevation, and we climb a bit over 1,000 metres in here in the space of 11 minutes, it tells us. So there's a couple of activities at the top as well. I don't know what we'll
see what we're going to do. And just to be specific, I think we're still technically in Kathmandu, and yes, we're up on the hills in the valley. So, the hills of the Kathmandu Valley. Oh, my ears are starting to... Oh, there we go. Here we go, Mount Everest. Somewhere over there. So we're at the top of the viewing platform, where you can throw a coin in one of these, throw a coin in that, and apparently get the chance to see a bit more clearly, but it's just surrounded by cloud. It's really nice up here.
Yeah.
And there's a few additional activities to do. There's a free fall down there, zip lining, and riding a bike around a circle. I don't think we're going to do any of them. I don't think so. It's just nice to be up here above the cloud line.
Yeah. The zip line does seem quite interesting because it's only like $10, but it's only for like 200 metres.
I prefer to pay more to go further.
Yeah. But definitely worthwhile coming up here. Like it's you're so elevated. If only the clouds were playing their part, but they're not.
Still cool.
Yeah, still great.
Yeah, nice views of the temple from up here too. Oh, it's a cold wind. Yeah, so maybe this is the end of our time up here.
Good morning.
We're up early, it's before 7, and we've come up to a viewpoint to see the sunrise over the mountains, and we're looking out at the Annapurna mountain range. Well, we will be soon. Wow, look how different the sky looks. So our tour guide's just giving us some information. We're about 10 minutes from sunrise. You can see the sky is light, but unfortunately it's heaps of cloud. And then I said to him, there's here, this bit here that I can see. Is that the mountains? He's like, no, they're the green hills. So unfortunately, the Annapurna Ranges, which there's, I think, a couple of mountains called Annapurna, probably aren't going to be visible to us. And then there's one all the way, a different mountain range all the way down there. So we'll see what happens in the next 10 minutes. We're about a minute and a half from sunrise. I think we will be hard pressed if all of a sudden all this cloud blew off and then we could see all the mountains. So I think this is as good as it's going to get. Our tour guide here in Pokhara is Tulsi, and we just loved him. Our first stop was the Sri Bindi Yabasini temple in Pokhara, and Tulsi filled in the gaps that are starting to kind of fall together a bit like puzzle pieces the more temples that we visit, the different stories of the different gods. Apologies, I seem to have rain on my camera lens, which I didn't notice till much later on in the day.
We then got to an area that I actually quite really enjoyed. We went to the Seti River Gorge. So the gorge itself is only about 2 metres wide, but with water and time, the gorge is also about 20 metres deep. And then there's a section of the river that's been diverted off, and then it goes over this channel, which we then threw a bucket into and pulled out. And as you would expect from a mountain glacier, it was very cold.
Following on with that water theme, we then went to look at a hanging bridge that was suspended between two parts of the valley. This one is a new addition, really long, and it saved locals heaps of time. This was a very cool thing to do.
Before this bridge, people had this small bridge over there.
Does this river flood often?
Yeah, in the summer.
Oh yeah, with all the monsoon.
So a little river moment. No, we're on a video.
Oh.
Yeah, just to prove that we were here too. Because otherwise I'm just taking photos of a river. One of the things that Pokhara is known for is it is the adventure kind of capital of Nepal, but it's also this amazing place of natural wonders, as Darryl was just explaining. On our trip, we end up in 3 underground caves. This is the first of the 3, the Mahendra Caves, found in the 1980s or discovered in the 80s, with a cool story about a cow falling down a hole. It was a whole thing. The locals discovered these caves with these intricate stalactite type things that they then saw figures of the gods. This is Ganesh. And so inside the Mahendra Caves there is a temple, and the temple attendant and I had a moment. He gave me some blessings. It was very spiritual and religious. Not so much for Darryl, but I definitely partook and ended up walking out with a blessing with me. The second caves were the Bat Caves, no Batmobiles outside, and as we made our way down into these, which was a bit steeper and a bit precarious, we were greeted with the stench, and the stench was the smell of about 100,000 bats above our head. A change of pace and a change of focus, we actually ended up coming over to the Mountaineering Museum, and while the museum was full of really interesting information, it was quite dated feeling, and I know that sounds really judgy. There was information about the summit of each of the major peaks, information about the Sherpas and the climbers that were involved, and it really was interesting, but I think it needs a bit of an update. On our second morning in Pokhara, we saw the Annapurna Ranges, so we saw the Himalayas up close. And our first stop was the Pumdikot Shiva, which is this amazing sculpture. I thought when this was on our itinerary, we were going to see something really old, but no, this was completed in 2021, and it's the second tallest Shiva statue in Nepal. And it really was just lovely and colourful, and the outside is the focus. There's nothing on the inside at all. Keeping in the vein of visiting religious stuff in the morning, we went to the Shanti Stupa, which is one of the many peace stupas built by Japanese Buddhist monks around the world. And the point of these is to focus on peace in response to the bombing of Hiroshima back in World War II. So it's entirely peaceful. We've got to be silent here. Well worth a visit. And our next stop is a blend of the natural world and the religious world of Nepal. And we went to our third cave. This is the descent down into the cave. And there's stories of the gods that Tulsi, our guide, explained to us. And they're communicated in these beautiful carvings on the way in. As you enter the cave, the first part is the temple itself, so you can't film in there. But then as you go further down, you make it in towards the cave structure. Seeing these waterfalls above ground and underground, and they're cool. They're very awesome.
Absolutely recommend coming to this place.
Yeah, I think today's going to be a day all about water. So on the one hand, we've been to the underground falls, the cave, and then these ones, and then next we're going out on the lake for boating. That's all we know. I may have spoken a bit too early because on the way to the boating into lunch we stopped in at this factory, and this is a factory where they focus explicitly on women and people with disabilities to give them opportunities that they wouldn't otherwise have, and it's about making handicrafts, and part of the tourist stick I think is that you get to have a go yourself. So we both had a go at this. Then it was time to head out on the boat. I thought we'd be boating by ourselves, but no, we got in this canoe thing, and then we had someone paddling us. So it was the two of us plus Tulsi, our guide, heading out to an island in the lake. And the island, again, had a temple on it, but it was just gorgeous. The lake reminded me a lot of New Zealand. In fact, Pokhara reminded me a lot of New Zealand, and it's nice to find those little moments of home when you're away. Hello, it's Megan here from the future. I've been editing this video and I've realised that the entire experience we had in Nepal was so rich. We've just got so much footage. I'm actually going to stop this video here and then make a part 2. And part 2 is our time in Chitwan National Park and then back in Kathmandu. So if you like this video, watch out for part 2. I'll make sure it's linked at the end. And if you did like the video, go on, give it a like. Go on, subscribe if you're not subscribed yet, and we'll see you in part 2.